Hi, it's David C. Jones before the curtain goes up, and I am with some people who are doing a show that sounds a little bit heavy and a little bit fascinating. So let's find out more about this show. Hello, introduce yourselves and the show.
Hey guys, I'm Lee J. Banbury, and this is my lovely wife, Jennifer Banbury.
Hi guys. Hello there.
And
Good morning, Vancouver.
Good morning, Vancouver. Where are you? Are you not in Vancouver?
Well, not in my mind. No, I'm far, far away. But I'm here now.
Okay,
I'll stay
good.
with you for a few minutes.
Okay, good. Lee, what's this show about? What? Hit me with the title again.
It's called Shalem's Fair.
Shalem's Fair.
Shalem's Fair is it's an absurd reality story surrounding a lady who is on her way to the train station, or so she thinks, to collect her husband who's coming in on the train. And on the way, as she walks to the train station, she encounters different people who seem to remember her or who seem to know her, but she doesn't remember who they are. And when she gets to the train station, she realizes that everything that is going on is without spoiling it, not the reality that everyone else is in. And so there's comedy elements. It's meant to honor those who have been touched with this mental health issue called dementia in its various forms. So she does suffer a little bit from onset Alzheimer's. We've had experience with this. So there is very funny elements and there's very touching elements. So we're excited to see how this will land with Vancouver audiences.
Nice. And Lee, did you develop the show? Did you create this show, or is it a script that existed already?
I wrote the show about 5 years ago for my high school drama class that we were exploring. We often explore societal issues like overdosing or abduction, residential schools, and this one happened to be
Stuff.
yeah, light stuff. Well, they said, can we do a comedy? So I wrote a comedy about dementia.
No. Now, this sounds no. There's been a sort of like this a trend over the last 5 years about healthcare. I was in a show called Time to Remember, where I played a husband whose wife was developing dementia. There was so it seems to be a subject matter that we're really getting compassionate about. Why do you think? Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think we're now saying, hey, we need to explore this? Because I have a feeling, in the olden days, we just put them on a nice flow and sent them off.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it was just very much part of the norm, sadly, that everyone just kind of goes through. So I think now we're just, my mom has she's now more advanced in her stages of dementia, but when she first started developing these things, it's something that we're all there's many people that are being affected by it. And I mean, on a good note, there's lots of resources out there that we can help people that do have dementia. My dad is still the primary caregiver for my mom at home, and they're 83 and 81. And so it's a lot of people are dealing with it. And so, I mean, when we, that's why there's more things being written about it. It's a heavy topic that a lot of people don't necessarily want to dive into, and let's have a play about it. So to have any kind of comedic element to it is, it has to be done in such a way that is still honoring. And I think that's the point that we're really trying to drive home, is that, there are funny things that happen. And even though there's so much of a tragedy, that we still have to embrace kind of like the funny moments and essentially really who those people still are, despite the illness and everything that it's stripping away from them.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, David, I have visited many retirement homes, and I've seen many, you know, someone's mother, grandmother, grandfather sitting by the window as almost like a shell of their former selves. And when asking the nurses there, they're like, who's that man? And like, well, he was in the Navy. He had he's decorated. She was a nurse in the ER, and everyone has a back life. And really, the honoring is to honor the legacy of those who have gone on into a different dimension, really, and how we can talk about it, how we can bring our kids to like, hey, why don't you just go sit with grandma and grandpa and ask them about their childhood? Because for some reason, grandma remembers everything about her childhood, but she doesn't remember that she put the iron in the microwave to heat it up. So yeah, no, it's exciting to see the audiences that how they respond.
One of the things that stuck out to me, the way you were describing the show too, is there's an element of mystery, and there's also an element of humor. And it made me instantly think of if you don't laugh, you cry. So you have to, and also we see darkness in light. We need light in order to see the dark. So what's been the biggest challenge for you? I'm gonna guess, May. I'm gonna guess that if you're playing a character that has dementia, they probably have a lot of lines that are non sequitur. So as an actor, you're trying to remember the lines.
Yeah, with my own 52-year-old brain, which is a challenge. And sorry, David, my name is Jennifer. I'm actually using my daughter's computer.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jennifer.
Yeah, no problem.
Jennifer, how horrible.
We'll start there. No, that's okay. No problem. I didn't properly introduce myself, so not at all. Yeah, what was the question?
The non sequiturs, all these lines that really don't, it's hard to connect the dots from one line to the next because you're.
I know, I was kidding. I was joking. Yes. So there's a lot of scattered sort of dialogue that happens. And there's, really trying to find the through line of the character, which is really kind of all over the place. Has been challenging, and just the kind of spurts of dialogue that happen that are not connected to anything else, because that's the way that it's happening. So just trying to do our best, trying to do very, very quick runs of line retention, as well as trying to drive home the sentiment of the character at the same time, realistically. So it's been my biggest challenge so far. Wow. Still a challenge, and it will be, I'm sure, until the day we end. It'll just be a progressive work, I'm hoping.
The good news is, Jennifer, is if you miss a line or say the wrong line, the audience will just think it's part of your character.
Exactly, that's right. And I actually have my younger self on stage with me the entire time. Spoiler. And so, sorry, was that a spoiler?
Oh, well, at this point, Lee, we're doing anything we can to get people to get into the theater. We want faces.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if someone goes, they'll come, right?
That's right. That's right. There is a cast of about 15.
Wow.
It's a larger cast. We often go into different schools to present this. We don't have a very large school run this go around. We primarily at the theater, at the Jericho Theater, and but we do have a couple of schools that are lined up, and we really think that people have a better time trying to process complex issues through the lens of a story. And it helps the teachers kind of use these characters as reference to really explore and bring understanding to things that are maybe quite hard to talk about.
That's cool. It strikes me as not something that's super I'm sure your other shows, what was it, addiction and abduction. I can't remember. Those ones you go, this one's perfect
Residential
for school.
schools.
Yeah, residential schools. These ones are perfect for schools, and this one just skews just a little bit older, maybe a little bit. So that's probably why you're doing it in the community.
Yeah, we brought a
Yes.
play up to Prince George, and the play was surrounding abduction and trafficking. And our troupe, we had a troupe of about 20 people, and mainly senior youth, high schoolers. And we brought them up to Prince George, and most of the kids, you know, they heard of Highway of Tears, but we really didn't understand the true guts of it all. And it wasn't until we got to Prince George and we started going to all the different schools and presenting the play and having a discussion Q&A afterwards, that kids and teachers were coming out of the woodwork saying, my aunt was touched, my sister was touched, like everyone in the community there was touched. And that really impacted us as a troupe, that like, hey, we're trying to bring community. We're trying to bring community to a hurting world, and just let's talk about it, and let's support one another and encourage one another. Like, hey, we're standing with you, and that gives me a sense of belonging, a sense of, hey, I'm doing my little part in this great big quagmire.
Yeah, you're doing important work. It's a theater that promotes empathy. Right. I just saw that fucking bird, which is an adaptation of the seagull, and the whole point was, does art actually make a difference? And that was the argument in that show. But you know, even if you just have someone say, "I'm not alone," right? That's huge. That's
Yeah.
yeah. So you have a cast. Yeah.
I was just going to add to that. One of the main things, when we have done the school shows and other shows in the community, we also have a question and answer period. And you know, one of the lovely things is that it really starts a conversation, because it gives people sort of information and brings awareness to what's happening. But then it also starts a conversation with people, and we really see that as a way to, you know, work through trauma maybe that's happened. Often we'll have counselors that are on by at schools just to, you know, if kids need to go and talk about this more, what they've experienced. And using that as a tool. And a lot of times these difficult situations, people just don't know how to speak about them. They don't know how to talk about them. And our human tendency is to kind of to suppress it. But thankfully we're more, you know, starting to deal with those things more, which I think is also why we're seeing a bit more of, you know, this artworks about some of these harder things to deal with.
Nice. This sounds like a fascinating and wonderful show. You're playing at the Jericho Art Center, which I often refer to as a theater that's in the intelligentsia. There's a higher income bracket around there. There's the university around there. So they sometimes just go, yes, stimulate my brain. Right? That's why you often see much more heady, I guess is the word, work done at that theater, and doing very well. So this sounds like a very important show. How are we going to get people out to see this show?
Well, there's a couple of ways, David. We have a preview night, May 5 and 6, where it's by donation, or in other words, free to get in. But you got to pay to get out. So there's the catch. We have a matinee on Mother's Day, so all mothers are free. I don't know how we're going to prove that, but we'll figure that out if it is a comedy. And then, of course, there's always a senior and students rate, but we want to extend this rate to all educators. So any teachers who are on the front lines that want to just come, you get the special rate. So we don't want it to be an obstacle. So we want everyone to come and bring a friend.
So Jennifer, you're going to go first. You're going to look right at your camera, not at the camera. And when I count you in 3, 2, 1, you are going to sell the show. You're going to sell it to the people who are not the intelligentsia. You're going to sell it to people who are like, well, maybe I'll spend money and drive over there and see the show. And you're going to tell them why they should. Okay.
Okay. All
Ready?
right.
It's what
Okay.
it's a justify yourself promo. Ready? And 3,
Thank
2,
you.
1.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer Bamberry, and we are performing Shalem's Fair at the Jericho Arts Center from May 5th to 20th. Shalem's Fair is a wonderful show about a journey of a person's life. We sometimes would even say maybe it's their last breath right before they get to heaven. And this show deals with subjects like dementia. It also deals with some trauma. And it also deals with a circus at the same time. So there's lots of different elements to it. It definitely will provoke lots of emotions and lots of joy. And anytime that if you're dealing with anyone that you know of that has dementia and you don't know how to deal with it, this is kind of a good place to come and come along and join some other people that are also going through the same thing that you are. And hopefully there's healing and talking about these things and thinking about these things and having a community of people around you. So we hope to see you out there. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay, and Lee, you get to bring it home because you're the kingpin and all this, or the ringleader, I guess is the thing. You're the ringleader going, I have an idea, let's make this happen. But now you have to remove yourself from the depth of your experience and just sell this show. You have to convince people to go. What's in it for them? Why should they go? Ready, Lee? In 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Lee J. Bamberry here. We are so excited to bring about 15 people to the stage of the Jericho Arts Center. We have a preview week, May 5 and 6. It's free to get in, but you got to pay to get out. So there's the catch. And after that, we're just going to keep on going like a juggernaut. There's laughs, there's tears, there's intense moments, and we hope to see you out there. Just let me know.
It's like you got to find me somewhere in the city and then let me know. I'd like to come see the show.
Jennifer did such a great job. I didn't know how to I didn't want to be redundant.
Well, Jennifer, where my ears perked up is when you said circus. I was like, what? That didn't come up until just then.
Yeah.
That's what Shalem's Fair is.
It's a circus.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's what the title stands for?
Shalem actually refers to perfect peace. And so it's finding that place despite everything, a place of perfect peace.
It's another Hebrew word like shalom. Shalom is peace, but shalem is a different version of peace in the lexicon of Hebrew words.
Oh.
Shalem.
Wow. Oh, so a peaceful fair.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you guys. It sounds like an utterly beautiful show. I'm very excited to see it. And thank you for doing the work that you do, Lily and Jennifer. Bye.
Bye.